Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. On The Haunted Star, Trina Robinson gets ready to be a hero. Trina was determined to save Spencer, Liesl, and Big Baby Ace, according to the GH recap. Spencer was shown freaking out on the General Hospital recap as Trina Robinson took command. Trina Robinson's appearance on The Haunting Star on this episode astounded Spencer. Liesl was astounded to discover her whereabouts, and the kidnapper, Scott, Sonny, and Nina came to the conclusion that Victor had let Laura and Liesl know that Spencer was in just as much jeopardy as his younger brother. It was Drew and Carly's responsibility to inform Willow that she probably won't receive any of the highly sought-after bone marrow. Finally, Diane completed a task for Sonny and obtained the information he required. Trina Robinson comes to the aid. When Trina, Tabiana Ali, listened to Spencer, Nicholas Alexander Chavez, and Victor's chat, Victor said that none of them, even Ace, would ever go back to Port Charles. Spencer told Victor, Charles Shaughnessy, he had a life in Port Charles, that it was actually starting to get better and wouldn't go through with his ideas. Victor remained evasive, promising Spencer that he would discover his actual intentions in due course. Then he ordered Ambrose to lock Spencer inside his cabin. Liesl, Kathleen Gaddy, was finally taken before Victor by one of his thugs in the dining room, where she pleaded for her release. Victor tried to convince Liesl that he was going to complete the task that he and Mikos had begun 40 years earlier, but she wasn't having it. Trina had a chance to flee and find Spencer in his cabin when Liesl lunged at Victor. Naturally, Spencer was shocked to see his girlfriend and mortified to think that he had endangered her. She acknowledged that she had followed him to the Haunted Star since her gut had told her he was in difficulty. Spencer was shocked when Trina revealed that Liesl is also being held captive. Trina and Spencer were both in a panic at this time, but Spencer was not even going to try to flee without Ace. Spencer was unconcerned when Trina tried to convince him that his power-crazed freak uncle wouldn't harm a child. Trina then attempted to persuade Spencer that because no one knew she was there, she was the greatest candidate to get onto the boat and discover what Victor was really up to. Trina vowed to Spencer that she would exercise caution because she was difficult for him to get rid of. The two then shared a kiss before Trina left on her mission. When Victor endangered the lives of everyone she cared about, including Scott, Liesl recognized she was in serious trouble and went back to the eating room. Victor received reassurance from Liesl that his most recent ploy would fail just like all of his prior crazy schemes. The hunt for Victor and his hostages on GH. As the police weren't doing anything to help, Nana took it upon herself to inform Scott, Kin Schreiner, that Liesl was missing, and that they would have to find her on their own. Sonny made an effort to hold on to his hope that he could trace her devices and find her, but it was obvious that Victor already had that covered. Scott warned them about the time Victor had Victor thrown from an airplane so he could get his hands on Liesl because he was certain she was trouble. Nina and Sonny, Maurice Bernard, ultimately understood that Victor was responsible for Liesl's disappearance. At the hospital, Diane, Carolyn Hennessy, tried to talk to Robert, Tristan Rogers, about how he was feeling, but she was quickly taken away to see Sonny. Next, Dante, Dominic Zamprogna, informed Jordan, Tanisha Harper, and Robert about the night's events and that Liesl was now also missing. Robert was certain that Victor was responsible for Liesl's disappearance right away. The goon who followed Lucy, Lynn Herring, to the Metro Court was the subject of his conversation at the Port Charles Police Department, but Diane soon arrived to question him on Sonny's behalf. Later, Diane told Sonny that Victor had taken Liesl and the others on a tour of the Haunted Star that didn't last quite 3 hours. Essen, Avery Kristen Pohl, was visited by Dante and Laura, Jenny Francis, to give her an update on the hunt for Ace. Essen recognized Victor's goon, Ambrose, as the man who kidnapped her child after Dante showed her the CCTV footage from Laura's building. Essen questioned why Nicholas, Adam Huss, would arrange for the kidnapping of her child. But Laura assured her that Victor was to blame
questioned
and
whether
not
Spencer
Nicholas had assisted his uncle in taking Ace when she noticed that Laura couldn't get to him. Laura argued it couldn't be done and told Esme she thought Victor had taken Ace and Spencer with him. Esme informed Laura that she would be leaving town as soon as she had Ace back after deciding she could not keep Ace safe in Port Charles. Ems only wanted Ace to return home, despite Laura's best efforts to convince her otherwise. In the nurse's station, Sonny, Jordan, and Dante had a discussion. Sonny questioned whether Nicholas's disappearance was also connected to Victor, but Dante didn't think so. Sonny, though, was more eager than ever to bring Victor down. Willow's hopes are once again ruined. Drew and Carly, Cameron Matheson, and Laura Wright entered the gatehouse with a mission to tell Willow some awful news. Catelyn McMullen. Liesl vanished and was never seen again. Carly concluded that Liesl had been abducted when they recounted what had occurred during the magic show. Unexpectedly, Willow worried more about Maxie, Kirsten Storms, and Nana, Cynthia Watrose, than she did about herself. When Willow insisted that Liesl would be found while also considering other people, Carly was shocked. Carly was satisfied with the hunt because Sonny was involved. After Willow was left alone, Michael, Chad Duell, sought to comfort her since he assumed she would feel angry and defeated. But all Willow wanted was some time to herself to enjoy some hot chocolate and whipped cream. When Michael went to the kitchen, Willow eventually started sobbing because of her terrible circumstances. As Michael came back, he found a distraught Willow on the floor, and she told him that the cure had once again been taken from her despite her being so near. Trina and Spencer. Will they survive? According to these brand new General Hospital spoilers, everyone in Port Charles is on high alert. While Laura and Felica fret about prior incidents, Cody is desperate to establish his innocence, Willow is on the verge of losing hope, and Carly is preparing her family for the unthinkable. In addition, Curtis is disturbed by what he hears. Dante believes he has the answer to a dilemma, and Trina might have discovered a means for her and Spencer to leave the haunted star. But will it succeed? Curtis is forced to put someone in their place in the hospital when he finds himself participating in a conversation that he doesn't want to. He firmly states, "That's enough." Might Portia be involved in this conversation too? The doctor is regretting something for some reason. She sighs, it's too late for that. Willow's bone marrow transplant has been postponed, possibly indefinitely, because Liesl is missing. Brooke Lynn and Sasha visit Willow at the carriage house after learning the news. Will they persuade their friend to express her feelings to Michael on the tragic turn of events? The dying girl begs her pals. Isn't it the same as telling him I've given up hope? An innocent Cody, who was detained at the nurses' ball, is anxious to tell Sasha that Glady set him up, and might be stealing money from her daughter-in-law. But if Sam stops by the PCP to visit him, will he tell her about his theory? Dante's girlfriend hasn't exactly been his biggest supporter after all. Sam queries Cody. What did Glades do that you needed to alert Sasha? When Dante and Jordan continue to review the evidence in the case of Victor's disappearance elsewhere at the PCPD debt, Falconeri draws a somber conclusion about where the hell Victor fled with all of his hostages. The possibility of finding the haunted star offers some optimism, though. Dante tells Jordan, "I think I know someone who might be able to help." While this was going on, Laura and Felicia sat down to try to determine what was going to happen next in Victor's evil plan regarding the Ice Princess. Laura worries, is history repeating itself? She asks her longtime friend. Carly tries to prepare Jocelyn for the worst-case scenario, with Willow unable to undergo her life-saving bone marrow transplant, and Trina and Spencer missing and thought to be Victor's hostages. She tells her daughter, "We're going to have to prepare ourselves." Ultimately, Spencer sees any prospect of successfully escaping his Uncle Victor vanish like the land on the horizon as the haunted star sails farther and farther away from Port Charles. Until Trina returns and informs him of some good news, that is. She exclaims, I think I found a way off the ship. Can Spencer and Trina, however, be able to capture Ace and flee without being discovered by Victor's thugs? Thanks for watching if you like this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.